If you want to quit drinking and start creating, give this video a click through. Check it out. See what I'm on about here. I am alcoholic audio engineer, and home audio work helped me to finally turn the corner on a over 30 years unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Let's put it that way. I forgot. I need to look into the camera and smile a bit more. Back in the saddle. Okay. I just got an encouraging email from someone who's encouraged me to keep going. This is my studio, my modest bedroom studio. And, well, you know, if you're a drunk, tag along and see what I'm on about. And I've got tutorials. There's a link in the description to a tutorial where you can, you know, learn how to record your own music at home. It's fun. It's a lot better than boozing. And so, with that said, or if you're not a drunk and you're just really into home audio work, but you know you're unapologetically unprofessional, and you're into, I don't know, going about things in unorthodox ways. If you're not trying to sound like a professional, if that's not your bag, I don't know. Maybe you'll resonate with some of what I'm doing here. Anyway, I'm going to, I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. I've got to get into, okay, so I did a shout out to at before.23. Okay, there's some weirdness going on with YouTube, so I'm not going to go back through and explain all that, but, you know, comments and replies to comments sometimes just mysteriously vanish right after they get posted. I don't know. So anyway, before.23, I don't have a proper name for you, sir, but so I'm just going to call you Before. So here's what I'm looking at. Okay, I'll get back to the internet here in a second. This video is going to focus on two tools from the Airwindows Consolidated Suite toolkit, VST plugin toolkit. All right. And so let me see. All right. Well, first of all, before.23. Let me just show you. So here's my, I'll show you my downloads folder first. This is what I did today. Okay, so let me see, downloads right here. I also downloaded Meter, and I'm a bit puzzled by that thing. I have some questions about that. Here we have Airwindows Consolidated 2024 1020 Windows 64-bit setup. As you can see, date modified. Well, I'm in South Korea. It's it's 21st of October here. But anyway, this is the latest one from GitHub, and I did the install. And where does it install to? I'll go ahead and install it again right now. All right, so it's asking me, do you want to allow this app to make changes? Yes. All right. And I accept the agreement. Next. We've got these three things. All three of them are checked. And next, it's going into C drive program files, Airwindows, with Bacon Paul and members of the Surge Synth team, / Airwindows consolidated. Setup type, full installation, install, finish. All right. So if I go into local disk C, and what was it? Program files, Airwindows consolidated. There it is. Now, I'm going to open it outside of the DAW. Okay. And of course, it says audio input is muted to avoid feedback loop. Fine. Chris is always the gentleman. That's why it defaults to galactic. It's not going to damage anybody's speakers. I love that. Anyway, I go down to distortion, and the only item is McAdee. Now, tape. I've got 2 tape 8. Under, let me see, reverb, I've got galactic, but no galactic 3. And let me see, under effects, I do have doubly 3. That's been updated. But, yeah, let me see, zoom was under distortion, if I'm not mistaken, and it's not there. All right? So that's what I'm dealing with, okay? All right. And I also tried moving this into the DAWs plugin folder, which I never had to do before, but it doesn't make any difference. This is the fresh install. Just installed it, and it is what it is. So thank you for being so kind as to take an interest in this problem and trying to relay it to Chris. I appreciate it, man. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is a problem that it could go back a couple of plugins. Again, I should have the Galactic 3 in there, but it's not there. And there's one other that's not in there, but I can't recall it at the moment. Anyway, moving on. So, let me see. Yes, all right. Now, okay, so I'm going to focus on 2 plugins from Airwindows that I have been using standalone. The other day I got curious about some of the tools, some of the plugins that are offered standalone, not bundled in consolidated. And I just kind of picked a couple of them based on my very tenuous understanding of Chris's technical explanations. And I was pretty impressed with what they do. So I've been working on a cover of a Korean song. I live in South Korea. This is a song by an artist named Kim Kwang Seok. The song was released on an album in the year 1986. Kim Kwang Seok met an untimely end. It was ruled a suicide, but theories abound that there was foul play. He came up in a very rough time in this country's history, and there was a lot of frustration in his lyrics, especially. His music was quite melodic and upbeat, but the lyrics tended to have a dark side to them. And this song is no exception. This song is very upbeat, and it has a very upbeat chorus, refrain, which is, so translated, it's, so the song is called Ireona, which means like get up. I mean, literally get up, as in get up out of bed, get your ass out of bed, Ireona. But it also in the more general sense of get up, stand up, like Bob Marley, get up, stand up, that kind of meaning. And so I don't know if I can play the original from beginning to end. I don't know if I'll get dinged for copyright. So I hesitate to do that. Maybe I can just play a few seconds of it. All right, so Kim, maybe a K. Okay, there we go. Kim Kwang Seok, Airona. And there he is. All right. Should I play the live? Yeah, I'll play the live performance. Just to, you can, I can't really play it though. Okay, so a lot of these folk singer guys from the 70s and 80s, you know, they took a big cue from Bob Dylan. So he was an acoustic guitar, harmonica singer type of guy. And if you could see the audience he was playing to, right there. You can't see it very clearly, but they were just, they didn't get him. They just didn't get him. And to this day, a lot of Koreans say that, oh, his lyrics are so difficult. His lyrics are so strange. And I guess they are. All right, it's very poor quality video, but you can see they're all just kind of like I don't know. The people of that time, I don't think a lot of them didn't really get him. Let me just see if I can find a bit of the chorus. There we go. All right, I don't want to get copyright struck, but so the lyrics are kind of like the chorus is get on up. It's a matter of giving it another try. Give it one more try. Get up. Like the new spring sprouts, okay? like the new buds in spring, something like that. And the verses are okay. So kind of a mixture of dust in the wind, and I don't know if you ever heard that old song by Sunhouse, "Grinning in Your Face." Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Well, you just bear this in mind. A true friend is hard to find. Maybe I'll get copyright struck for that. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Kind of like, well, I'll just translate the first verse is something like, I'm standing in the middle of a dark ocean. Let's see. Standing in the middle of a dark ocean. I can't see one step ahead of me, where I should go, where I should be. I look around, but I don't know. On this river called life, we endlessly float on the surface like a dead water plant, and eventually we get washed up on the bank of a dark lake and rot with the water. All right? And then the other verses are just like, people endlessly talking. And it's just all the same old words and empty deeds. And we pretend like everything's okay when it's not. And it's all bullshit. But get up. Try it one more time. It's a real man song, you know. It's a square, brutal, unsentimental assessment of the harsh realities of existence. Unflinching acceptance. But get on up and give it another shot. So it's a man's song. That's why this guy he's never been very popular with the ladies. All right. And so I've always loved this song, and I decided to do a cover of it. And so here that is. Now, okay, so in order to give you to introduce you to my cover of it, and also to sort of set the stage for what these plugins do, just for sake of reference, I'm going to play the video of my cover for this song. This is a mix which I was unsatisfied with. That's why I never posted it to the channel yet. And I kind of gave up for a while. But then when I applied these Airwindows tools, I'm not going to say it's done, but these tools helped me to address certain problems that I had with the mix. And I'm, again, just extremely impressed. So, yeah, without further ado, let me see here. Videos. I got to find it. All right. So please bear with me. Hey, see here. I'm going to... I want to show... It's a video, so I'm going to play the video. And, yeah. So here it is. Put your mixing ears on. Please try to identify how many guitar parts there are, and yeah, give it a listen, because maybe you'll be surprised once I open the DAW and show you what it looks like and what I've done with these tools, BassDrive and Unbox. All right.
So
All right. That, by the way, that flower is called the mugunghwa. It's the national flower of the Republic of Korea. And somehow I managed to bag time-lapse footage of that flower. Wasn't even looking for it. but it appeared, and it's funny how things happen that way sometimes. Anyway, that's the song, and that's the way it was. And so here is, well, okay, let me restart Cakewalk. All right. Right there. Now, I'm not going to play it all the way through again, but I'm going to play the intro and part of the first verse. Just like, see if you can hear the differences. So, I don't know if hearing it for the first time on the first pass and then hearing it for the second time, after the changes, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear anything. But for me, and again, I'm not even sure about this yet. All I know is that these tools have presented they brought something to the table. And now, for one thing, I didn't change the vocal track at all. Haven't tweaked it, haven't touched the vocal track, but I think it sits much better in the mix now. And when it transitions from the first verse into the chorus, in the original, it was almost like the vocal didn't get buried, but it got kind of swamped a little bit in such a way that some people would say, well, sidechain it. I don't like sidechaining. I just don't like it. And I like to find other ways than sidechaining. So I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through, go to console view and just briefly look at the tracks where so here I've got, so both bass parts. We can start with the bass. There are two bass parts. The second one comes in the middle of the third verse. And you might not have really noticed it when listening to the original mix in the video. But after applying these tools, it's much more prominent. The bass part is a lot more prominent throughout the song, but especially towards the end. So I've got Unbox and BassDrive applied. And yes, I do use a lot of plugins. For some reason in my feed, I've been getting a lot of all these videos about, these guys who present themselves as like seasoned mixing engineers. Maybe they probably are. I've got 20 years of mixing experience, and after 20 years, I find that most of what I do is just leveling, and maybe a little EQ and a little compression, and I don't mess with all these tools anymore, and neither should you. I don't know. I like plugins. I like tools. And, so maybe in another 10 years, I'll feel the same way. But right now, I use a lot of plugins, but I don't use them gratuitously. I use them very purposely. And so these are bass parts tracked with an electric guitar using the pitch proof plugin to bring it down an octave to make a bass part. Pitch proof does an excellent job of that. It looks like this. It's a free plugin from Aegean Music. I've tried pitch plugins that are more well held in higher regard. And I just find that for turning a guitar track into a bass track, this one can't be beat. So anyways, I'm going to start with the bass parts. And I'm going to A-B, these two tools here. And let me see, the main bass part I froze that to conserve processor, CPU. I'm going to unfreeze it so that I can A-B these plugins. And so start from the get-go with this one. Kick in BassDrive. You hear the diff. Can you hear the dropout? Man, like that, it just brings so much more sort of sizzle and snap and life to that bass part. Unbox is quite a bit more subtle. Let me just turn them both off and A-B Unbox. On. On. So here I've got it's got 3 sliders: input, output, and in the middle the unbox. This is let's see, how did he? All right, I forgot this isn't in consolidated, so I don't have the write up at hand. Chris's explanation of it, but it is a distortion, but it applies. How do you say it? It applies distortion. It has to do with aliasing. I should just look it up real quick. Hang on. Let me see. Here's Chris. Here's Airwindows.com. And, well, I have to find Unbox. Okay, I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay, Unbox. Too long didn't watch. Unbox is a distortion where only the harmonics that don't alias are allowed to distort. Okay, so the idea is as follows. If you distort stuff digitally, it aliases. This can be seen as harmonics seemingly bouncing off the highest frequency and going back down again. The idea is that if you have digital saturation or distortion without massive oversampling, you'll always have aliasing and everything is ruined forever. That's not quite true. It depends on the frequency and the form of distortion, and many of my plugins have gentle enough distortion curves that they throw a limited number of harmonics. If you are only generating harmonics within the range of digital audio's frequencies, you're fine and there will be no problem until you feed the system a frequency that's too high. You're not automatically feeding super high frequencies all the time if you're working with natural recordings. Not all sounds contain that kind of higher frequency content. If you do have that sort of high frequency content, what then? Okay, and then he gets into a very technical explanation. Here's where he dumbs it down. What that means is this. Unbox is a distortion that cuts down the level of the signal, but only the mids. Depending on how it's set, it will let through more and more of the dry highs unaffected. It'll also let through a hint of bass for definition. Underneath this layer of clarity, the distorted part can be made pretty distorted, but it'll stay free of aliasing even up into the high frequencies, because those frequencies aren't actually getting applied to the distortion, and the distortion output's also being smoothed after the fact. So you've got a texture thickener, an energy adder. This is what got me to download it. When Chris talks about energy, adding energy, my ears perk up. An energy adder that retains a very analog quality because all of the overtones stay clear of aliasing without oversampling. The raw sound is still a direct pass-through, and that's where the clarity comes from. All right, so back to this. I'm just going to go ahead and max it out while I'm in playback. I'm just going to, so I've got this set. Okay, let's see, 0.8 and 1.5, and input is at default 1. But hear how it sounds when I just slide them back and forth. Okay, so output obviously is going to take it down to, whoops. All right. So, all right. You can hear the distortion. You can hear that sizzle. I left input at 1. This one right around 8.8, 0.79, Okay, and output. So it just it adds a fullness and a presence to it. Yeah, I'm not the world's best bass player. Yeah, it's a one-man show. So again, it's subtle, but I like it, right? And then kick in bass drive. And holy shit! So what do we got here? Drive is at 0.57. Default is 0.5. Low is up to 0.53. Presence is up to 0.59. This is the way I decided I liked it a couple of days ago when I did this, right? All right, so here's where the second bass part comes in, and it's played higher up on the neck. Bass H is for high, and I guess I'll solo those together. Sound like Spinal Tap, Big Bottom. So both of them bypassed. So that riff that I'm doing on the high bass part, dun 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 dun, wasn't really coming through in the mix before nearly as much as I wanted, and it wasn't for lack of trying. You can see I had exhausted my the tools that I usually use to make the bass cut through, and it was bass drive that made the difference. I'm not going to go into what else I've got going on here right now. I will say that I've got bass drive before this Finisher Micro plugin, which is set on it's a fairly pronounced flanger. This is a compressor with effects. It's a very nice plugin. You got to jump through some hoops to get it. So I put it in front of the Finisher Micro because bass drive brings out the best in the Finisher Micro, what that's doing. So listening to these in the mix, now off. Not really cutting through. but engaged again. And the outro. So that's what BassDrive and Unbox did for the bass parts. Now I'm going to get to some of the guitar parts. Let's start with this last one. I called it scrack. It's a scracking sound. It's kind of a reggae rhythm part on the 2 and the 4. So listening to the original mix again, it's first time in a few days. It was coming through pretty good, but there were just certain moments in the song where it just wasn't poking through, and I didn't want to turn it up any higher. And in fact, after applying Unbox and BassDrive, in this case, I chose to put BassDrive after the Finisher Micro, which is on a setting called Big Hair. It's an 80s. Compressor with echo. But yeah, I'll go ahead and solo it. And first I'll just turn these both off. There's the Unbox on. There's the settings I have with Unbox. Turned all the way up, it just it's a little thin, but I like it right around there. Too much. All right, so again, start here. Again, Unbox is pretty subtle, but now I'll kick in BassDrive. BassDrive, you can see BassDrive, I don't even have any of the sliders turned up. I have presence turned down from 0.5 to 0.4. Everything else is at default 0.5. And listen to the difference. All right, so soloed, it's a bit, I think you can hear it a bit more if, when I put it back in the mix. I turned presence down because I don't know, I felt like it was too much. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to default 0.5 again. Now you can really hear the difference, right? lot more, just more presence and clarity and definition, just more energy, right? And I dialed presence down because when I listened to it in the car, it was just like it was just too much. And I even I brought the volume of this track down. What is it, down to minus 17.9? I think it was before this. It was minus 13 and a half maybe. But so listen to it. Let me A-B it in the mix. Quite the diff. That one part there where I do the little rhythmic hitch. Hang on. Dun, 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 dun. Oops, I disabled the whole. There we go. That part. On solo. And then much more pronounced. So I think I took presence down a little bit too much. Taking it down to 0.45. Okay, so enough said for that one. Let's turn our attention to, okay, chorus trem. Okay, I'm using both Unbox and BassDrive on that. So here's what that sounds like solo with these two bypassed. All right, so in the finisher micro, I'm using Space Grinder setting. It's a stereo delay. When you set this amount knob at about 12 o'clock, this plugin tends to match your tempo pretty well. It's kind of a thickener. I liked it. I went with it. But I'll A/B Unbox with it, which is again around 0.8, 1.3. Again, input at default 1. It's almost giving it a little bit more stereo width, just more fullness is the best word I can think of. Again, it's very subtle, but to me quite noticeable, even with my bum ear. But now, let me A/B the BassDrive part, and BassDrive is presence high and mid at 0.5, low at 0.55, and drive at 0.58. It's quite the difference. Maybe too much, man. It's like, I'm not done with this, right? But it is quite the difference. So here, so this comes in the chorus. on solo. I think this can come up a little bit in volume. I'm going to bring it up to from minus 17 to minus 15. Where I really want to see if that volume boost is too much in the final chorus and into the intro, all these are going at the same time. Yeah, I can hear the dropout. Right. Okay, so moving on to, let me see here, we've got, okay, high and low harmony, those are vocal parts in the third chorus. Chimes, okay, so these are guitar parts. Let me see. They're both called chimes. I should call this one chimes verse and chimes chorus, because that's what they are. But anyway, so here's the chimes verse part. And let's see. Yep, so we got Unbox and BassDrive going with both of these. All right. And in this one, I'll go ahead and play it first. You hear the subtle fullness that comes in with the Unbox? Now this time I've got Unbox and output maxed, okay? So it's a little bit more pronounced this time. Again, this is what I liked at the time that I did it. I may change my mind, but... Wow. And that effect is, again, finisher micro on the infinity setting. Okay, so here's without finisher micro. Now here's with BassDrive. It's a bit too much, right? A bit too much. But you can hear the ethereal chimes that are coming from the finisher micro. That BassDrive is just like, I put BassDrive before. Listen to what it sounds like when I put it before finisher micro. Quite a difference. All right, so drive is at 0.5, 0.6. I'm going to bring drive down to 5.3. Even if I just bring drive down to 0.5 and just have everything at default. Okay. Listen to the difference. All right, now here comes the, don't ask me why I have these on different tracks, just I do. Here's the chimes part for the chorus. So unbox, again, big fullness. This time I got all 3 sliders maxed out. Okay, so I was probably getting a little bit carried away. Yeah. But maybe not. I don't know. I must have really liked it this way. Well, there's some distortion there. I mean, it is a distortion. But it's a nice distortion, right? And holy fuck, listen to the difference with BassDrive. All right, so as I suspected, I've got drive set to 0.6 and presence set to 0.6. So yeah, quite a bit brighter because of the presence. But I mean, shit, even if I bring them down to, the default 0.5, let's listen to the difference there. Off. I mean, that's just like... Fuck, I mean, that's just really cool. I think very easy to overdo it, right? But I'm kind of gonna go with what I had earlier and listen to it in the mix. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do likewise as I did with this chimes. Wait a minute. No, that was with... oh, never mind. This chimes is minus... I'm going to bring this volume up a little bit. Kicks in there, and now I'm just going to turn BassDrive off. Yeah. I wonder if I bring the mids up a little bit. Yeah, this is a crazy thing that I do. This is TDR Nova, and this is something that I do. Yes, this is the DS preset. Yes, I do this sometimes, but listen to it without. Okay, so hang on. It looks extreme, but it does something really subtle. Okay, never mind that. I'd meant to go back and yeah, I've got that maxed out. Okay. And again, I don't know. I got these chimes like really ramped up in terms of energy during that chorus, but the vocal, in my opinion, is not getting swamped. Right? So something about the way these Airwindows plugins channel energy, it's just uncanny the way they do it. Now, this is an important track right here, Ground Vibe. This goes throughout the entire song. That's why I call it Ground Vibe. And see what I got with that. I've got, on both of them, Unboxed and BassDrive. So let's just hear that from the get-go. Now this one's bothering me a little bit. I think, let me just take these off and wait. Right. Unbox. Input to 1.4. Unbox to 0.94. Output to 1.78. Okay, and this, this was originally all throughout the song, but I did volume automation. It only comes in the choruses, and then the final chorus and outro here. So you can hear what Unbox is doing there. Now, BassDrive. All right, that's too much. Okay, presence up to 0.59. That's too bright. So I'm going to bring that back down to... Now, interesting. Why did I do that? I rolled the lows off. No, I didn't roll it. I rolled the mids off. Okay. So let's just bring like presence to 0.53. Try it again. That's more like it. I'm also using distance 3 with this, set at 0.8 miles. And top dB, this is the discontinuity component, set to 115.5 decibels, 0.5 dry wet. Might as well kind of like second check what I did with this here. I think I might have brought dry wet down. Did I mean to do that? Let me see. It's quite a lot darker now. Bring presence back up. Okay, let's listen to it in the mix again. Yeah. I'm liking that. Good enough for now. It does bring, once again, well, I'm going to A-B distance 3 and bass drive. Well, it does bring quite a bit of power to that chorus section. Might be a little bit too dark. So since I dialed up the dry wet on distance 3, maybe this is what I intended in the first place, was to have this up around 0.6. Got Airwindows. Yeah, I got Stonefire going. And Energy 2, right? Yep, Energy 2. So, Jesus, man. I got some serious Airwindows mojo going on with this part. Let's A-B the entire effects rack here. All right, so if I've got this, effects, obviously, this effects rack is adding a shit ton of energy to this. If I bring the volume up to, let's say, -7 with the effects bypassed. Oh, I got a volume drawn. All right, I'm not going to go through that whole rigmarole right now, but I'm guessing that, bypass the effects rack, bring the volume up to -7, -8, and, you'd bring it back up to this volume, but it wouldn't have the same, it just wouldn't kick ass like it does. just got tons of presence and attitude. I like the dropout into the second verse. So I'm liking that as it is right now. I'm going to keep it that way. Now the solos. And then, well, first let's look at the track that I called Sparklies. Solo. So what do we got going on there? We've got Unbox, and I chose not to use BassDrive on this. Would have been too much, I think. Certainly, that's why I chose not to use it. But let's see here, solo and so let's listen to what happens if I just stick BassDrive on there. Okay. Management. This is an excellent plugin. Actually, I think I'm going to tweak this right now. Listen to what Management is doing real quick. Management is a spatializer / reverb. And it's really cool. The paid version, this is not the paid version, so I can't use the delay, and I can't use, let me see. No, the only thing that doesn't work is delay, I think. Yeah, it's just the delay stage. Free plugins, I use it a lot. I don't pan things. I don't use pan knobs. I don't pan things because I've got a severe hearing impediment in my left ear. And I mix primarily with headphones for that reason. I've got issues with my left ear, so I use spatializers, stereo wideners. I don't pan. I mix in mono, basically. All right, so yeah, let me turn off the BassDrive here, and I just want to look what's going on here. So listen, you see this bouncing ball bouncing left and right here, okay? Listen. Low, go. Here's the rate. All right. Watch what I'm going to do here. Let's see. See that? Reverse the direction. Counterclockwise. Far. Yeah, basically going in a circle now, a counterclockwise circle. And I've got a heaven reverb amount, decay. Let me see. Try the cave reverb. I like heaven. It's got concert, heaven, wood, cave, and dark. Let's try dark. I like that heaven reverb. Okay. All right, good enough. Now let's hear what BassDrive does to it. Yeah, it's just too. It's I don't know. It just doesn't fit here. I didn't really bother reining that in. I suppose I could try now. Try bring the drive up slightly and bass up a little bit. Yeah, it was just the high trebles were just sizzling way too much. I brought the presence down, the high down a bit. What happens if I bring the mids up? I'm gonna pass on bass drive for this part, and then there are the solo parts. There's a high solo and low solo. High solo is also kind of the intro part that outlines the vocal melody at the beginning. All right, did some more adjusting on the bass drive part for the ground vibe. That was bothering me during the intro. Okay, I don't think that these Airwindows tools support automation. I tried automation right before, it didn't work, but maybe I should give that another go, but not right now. All right, so here's the solo section. Now, I'm not happy with this right now. But I will A-B it. During the playback, the video playback, I was more or less happy with those twin solos. Now, I think, I don't know. It's just again, this is not finished. But this is just to kind of show what these two tools have done with this mix. Now, as you can see, so I'm going to unfreeze this. Hopefully the CPU doesn't glitch up. But let me see, where do I have Airwindows? It's consolidated. Let's see, what do I have here? Okay, I've got my console LA channel on this channel. Okay, so I didn't use Unbox or BassDrive on the low solo part. So I'm just going to undo the freeze track on that. But I did use it. I did use Unbox and BassDrive on, hang on, getting myself mixed up here. Okay, so here's high solo. And, okay, I used BassDrive in high solo. Not Unbox, but BassDrive. So, here's that. No, I used Unbox as well. I used it after. I had decided that in general I like it before BassDrive, but I have it after. In this case, for some reason, it's going to be a very subtle difference. I'm going to just check out what BassDrive is doing with it here. You can hear the difference there, especially toward the beginning with it off. And I may just go back through and retrack this solo because, in all fairness, I didn't track it terribly well that night. But there were certain things I liked about the way I played it even though, yeah, well, I'm still on the fence about this, but soloed. Yeah, I haven't actually done this. I'm just going to bypass the effects rack, bring it all the way up to 0, and see how it sounds. Oops. Let's see what we got going on here. Discontinuity, of course. Pitch proof. I'm going to keep that. Compressor. I have it down to. It's a clusterfuck. I admit it. The solo part is a bit of a clusterfuck. Sometimes I like clusterfuckiness sometimes. But yeah, I'm still on the fence about this one. I'm not a very good guitar player. I struggle with solos. I have to compose them and practice them again and again and again. Just not, lyrics and songwriting, that's my main wheelhouse. And I struggle with the execution of the instruments. The playing I struggle with, but anyway, that's how it is with these new tools, and so I guess it might be kind of cool to go to the just kind of like play through the let me see, the last verse and where the second bass part comes in, right here. And I'm going to go to console view. And let me see. I'm going to, let's take that out to the side and, all right. Going to tick these off and then hit play and tick them back on again. Bass drive, unbox, bass drive, unbox, bass drive, unbox, bass drive. Okay. Not there. Harmony, low harmony. Yeah, unbox bass drive, unbox bass drive. All right. So I'm going to hit play and just tick these back on as playback continues. What's that? That's Zoom. Set at 0.795. High pass. You can really hear the dropout. On. Yeah, so Zoom, that's the last thing. So that's what got me started today with commenting on Chris's exposition of this new tool, Zoom. It's quite the thing, Zoom. I'll start playback from the beginning and just A-B, Zoom. I guess at the very end, in the master bus, I've got a mastering plugin exciter called Relife. Shape and Life set at 25%, mix at 77%, output at 0, input and output at 0. As well as A-B. Just here's the whole effects track in the master bus A-Beat. Here's Relife. Two vinyl, two tape 8, tilt at 0.61, shape at 0.39, head bump and input at 0.59, bypass. Nice. Two tape 8 is fucking nice. Two vinyl off. Nice. Console LA Bus. Love Console LA. Very TDS. Gentle leveling. The mix glue, it's basically mix glue. Just brings things together. I like it. Now, here's Zoom. Listen to that fucking dropout. You hear it way more on the dropout than when it kicks in. I'll start again from here. Listen to that. Those extremes. That's where I decided the sweet spot was. Holy shit, man. Zoom. I knew when I heard Chris talking about it, it was usually when Chris explains his tools, I don't understand. I'll just maybe get the gist of what he's talking about. This time I understood mostly what he was talking about. And I made a beeline. I went right to the computer and downloaded this thing. Actually downloaded the new Consolidated, expecting this to be in Consolidated, but once again, if I load Consolidated and I go to distortion, it's not there. That's where it's supposed to be. It's not there. Okay? So anyways, this probably went on way too long, and I'm still not happy with this mix. But Unbox and BassDrive definitely brought things to the table. With no, it's beyond dispute. And BassDrive in particular is just, I see it as a new go-to for, if there's just a part that just is not cutting through, is not popping through. It's just something to insert and just hear what it does before you even touch a slider. And it's not just a bass drive. I mean, it's called bass drive, but it's an everything drive, as far as I can tell. And yeah, I think it should be in the Consolidated plugin myself. But anyways, hey Josh, man, thanks for your email. If you make it this far, just glad to hear from you, man. I know things are pretty hectic down there. I mean, I don't know any of the details, but it was really, really nice to hear from you. Heartening. And yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this one. And I am going to come back. I'm going to take Zoom and I'm going to stick it onto the end of some other into the mastering chain on some other songs and see what it does. So, yeah. I guess I'll keep going with this as I see fit. But, yeah. Fuck the almighty algorithm and fuck YouTube. the shenanigans, the shadow banning today was fucking ridiculous. It's just, it would be nice if I was just paranoid, but that's not the case. YouTube is just, it's really unfortunate. But that's the world we live in. All right, well, anyways, that's Airwindows Unbox Bass Boost and first usage of Zoom. From lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea, alcoholic audio engineer, over and out.